Alright, so I figured I better talk to you guys real quick. Channel's kind of getting bigger here very quickly. Didn't expect it to blow up like this. But it's growing very fast. I have a couple other channels. I play around with my old cars and do some restoration stuff. But what I want to tell you guys about today is about where I learned to paint, how I learned this stuff that I know, why I can talk shit, okay, because I know my shit, okay, there's just no way around it. I've been doing this a long time. I started when I was 16 years old. I'm 53 now, actually 53, just turned 53, and I learned from some really, really, really good guys, okay. The guys that I learned from, most of them are dead, and I'll tell you what, one of the guys I work with, we used to go to work every day, and he would, by noon, by 12 o'clock, he'd already fired 2 guys. I mean, it was just crazy. He'd be yelling all day long, and you guys might say, well, why would you work for a guy that yells? Well, his ex-wife did the books for the company, and he was making about $4 million a year with 20 guys. So that was a little motivating to learn from him. So, you know, a lot of guys wouldn't even have seen that opportunity. They just saw a guy who was just an asshole, who yelled at everybody every day. And you know, he'd just come into work, and he'd be just, we'd be working, he'd be just screaming. He didn't yell at me much because, you know, I made the cut. You know what I mean? I was there. You know, I could do the work. I could keep up. I could keep my volume up and stuff like that. And had a giant paint spill in here. What a drag. But yeah, one of the cans, it rusted through on the bottom. These are what I use sometimes to do color matching. So anyway, yeah, what a drag. Anyway, but you notice there's no paint on my doors and stuff, all right? So I don't keep my shit ugly. But anyway, so I saw that opportunity, and with 20 guys, he was doing $4 million a year. So basically, his sons kind of didn't want to do anything with it, anything like that, and he, little by little, over about a 5-year period, taught me mostly everything he knows about painting and how to do stuff and how to look at jobs and how to figure out how to do what the job is required. So some of you guys looked at my interior video and you said, hey, now you should have sprayed everything, make it perfect, and blah 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 and all this. You know, you got to look at the job, okay? The walls, the doors and frames in that house were globbed up. Spraying them wasn't going to do anybody any good. It's not going to make them look smoother. They're already, you know, rental home looking globby. So brush and roll is actually the faster way to do it, because it was the same color over same color. So you have to look at every job and you have to figure out what that job needs. The same thing you do with a giant commercial building, same thing you do with anywhere you're working. If you're working on a house, you can look at that house and you can say, hey, we always do it this way. We always mask the windows, then we do this, and we cover up these things, then we spray, and then we go, you know, you had to look at it different. You have to look at each job for what it is, okay, and figure out what the best way to do that job is and make it look the best for the price that you're getting for the job. So it's constantly budgeting, constantly figuring it out. There's no cookie cutter, you know, hey man, if you hire 4 guys and you do this all the time, you're going to make, you know, millions of dollars. No, that's not the way it works. Okay. So, but that's where I learned to paint, and that's where I really learned. I mean, I learned a lot of stuff from different places. I started out as a custom painter, painting cars, doing graphics and stripes and stuff like that. That's why I do a lot of the stuff that I do now, because a lot of it's automotive paint. Some of the locations I do, some stuff is, house paint. Some stuff automotive paint. I can switch back and forth like it's nothing, and it's no big thing. So, basically, a lot of the work that I do now is mostly, when the chips are down and you need it right, they call me. And that's just, and yeah, it's not cheap. Okay. So I can charge a good amount of money to do what I do. I don't rip anybody off. I charge a fair price. Like I say in my other parts, but what's a fair price when you've had, a couple other guys show up and it didn't work? So, that number can be pretty good size. And my customers are super happy, and they call me back over and over to do more work. So, that's kind of where I came from. I've been doing this my whole life. And, funny thing is, my kids don't want anything to do with this. They didn't want anything to do with painting. It's funny thing, my guys who work for me, they are out doing side work every day right now. And I'm doing a lot by myself still, and I still have, then if I need them, I'll call them and they come out and help me, but they've learned all the stuff that I taught them, and now they're doing houses and making good money, doing houses, and that's fine. I'm happy for them. A lot of guys go, well, God, your guys, you went out and, took away your work. They didn't take away anything. I don't need that. I don't need the work that they're doing. I'm glad for them. And, I hope that they can, make good money, and, they're getting older too. And, they've got to, build up something for themselves. So I'm totally good with that, So anyway, but I still have, a guy who's here at the shop doing stuff, fixing my trucks, and he comes out and helps me. He doesn't know anything about painting, but anyway, I got a job for him. So anyway, but that's pretty much where I came from. What I know, I've gone into jobs, I've gone into companies, and like a friend of mine had a company, and he was like, hey man, I need you to run this job for me. And I've gone in and helped him run the job for him. He's like, well, how did you, I need to make sure this thing makes money. And he gave me the numbers on it. I'm like, dude, you like so underbid this. This is like grossly. And he goes, yeah, I beat everybody. I go, yeah, you beat the Asian guys and all the, the ones that are usually the cheapest. I'm not saying all Asian guys are like that. I mean, I'm just saying he beat those guys out. He was like, I was like, dude, there's a reason why. $1,100 a unit for these giant places. I was like, man, you should have been at about, 1,800. So anyway, I went into the job, ran it for him, ran his guys, and then his guys couldn't paint for crap. They were painting three sides of every board, so they're painting, all the doors. They'd paint three sides of the door, and I used to get screamed at if I missed one of the door edges, from my old boss. So I was used to, that sort of thing. And I'm not the scream at kind of guy. I just would just tell him, hey, I can't fire him. They're his guys. So I was just trying to remanage the job and showing them how to, get it working out. And I did get through the thing, and I think he made about $1,000 on it. It was just crap, So, and I made all right. I just made a few $100s a day, which is just to help him out. But anyway, I do stuff like that, still, I've gone out, got a couple friends that have, do a lot of commercial wall and stuff like that. And then they need help, he gets something too big and he's short on guys, and, we'll go out and help them sometimes when we're not that busy. But then I get crazy where I'm just like, night and day almost, You know, you work that kind of a schedule where you're working night and day. That's how your pumps get jacked up. That's how stuff happens like that. I mean, you're literally, you know, I have to do a lot of jobs at night, and then we're there during the day. And by the end of the time we're ready to leave, you're just too, you know, you're just too exhausted mentally and physically to sit there and, you know, wash your equipment clean. So if you don't understand that, you don't really understand what type of work, this type of work at all. And if you want to make, you know, thousands of dollars a day, you should keep listening to these videos. Little by little, you might pick it up, and you might be able to learn how to do it. Some guys, it's not for everybody. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody can do it. But if you're one of the select few who can, then you're probably going to learn some pretty damn cool stuff. I do stuff that's very unconventional because of where I learned it from. Okay, there's not many guys who are teaching other guys that to paint that learned from a guy who made that kind of money. Okay, there's not very many. You go and look for another painting contractor out there, and this was in the 80s and 90s. He was making that kind of money. Okay, find another guy, another guru who's out there teaching people how that they made $4 or $5 million a year. Now, I'm not doing that because I don't have that much. I'm not that much of an asshole like that guy is. Okay, I don't go out and scream at my guys every day, so I'm not going to do that. You know, I want my guys to be successful. I want them to do well. You know, I'm not going to scream at them like that. And you know, that's part of the reason they did it, but not really. It was mostly his method of doing the work, and the method of doing the work is the same method I use. And selecting the job, figuring out, you know, 90% of you guys that are painting contractors are not. You're out bidding the job, and I'm going to tell you this: you need to be bidding the customer. Okay, you need to look at your customer. You need to figure out whether you want to work for them, not whether they want to hire you. You have to figure out, am I going to get out of here with money in my pocket, or is this guy going to make me redo everything over and over? Those guys that do that, you're not going to make a lot of money on them. So, well, do you do high-end custom? Absolutely. I have some customers that are so high in net worth, I can't even show their house. Okay, I can't show their house because if I do and they see it, I won't be working for them. And they hire me to touch up every year. Multi-million-dollar homes. I mean, crazy stuff that nobody even gets into. And it's been from referrals, from years and years of doing work. Okay, and you're just not going to get a video of some of those jobs. I'm just not going to be able to do it. So there's like my storefronts and my really high-end customers, and of course, am I gonna go in and am I gonna go in and put a nice fat roll mark in his door jambs? Hell no. No, it's either gonna get a brush or spray rig. You know, you got to think what you're looking at. Okay, when I show you guys a high-end job that I can show one of these days, maybe I will. I don't know if I'll be able to, because most of my stuff repeats. I don't do the same. I don't do new bids very often. I don't do brand new buildings. I don't do brand new houses anymore. I just don't do that. There's no money in that stuff. You're gonna putty all that stuff. I mean, there is money in it, but you have to. But you're not gonna. There's good money in it, but it's all labor management, you know, and you're gonna have to do like piecework to really make it work out for everybody. That's how the guys are doing it. I know the guys that do that stuff, so, but I don't do it anymore. So anyway, that's pretty much me and where I came from, so you guys get to know who's teaching you if you want to know. So a lot of guys aren't going to watch this video. The few guys that do, that's cool. You'll probably want to subscribe for sure and watch a lot of cool stuff, and a lot of stuff just not going to agree with. Absolutely, and I'm totally okay with that. Don't agree, but watch it and learn from it, because the stuff I'm going to show you is all from the guy that I learned from. Talk to you in the next video.